So guys, today was a very interesting day, an interesting day to the extent that the market just could not make up its mind what it wanted to do, and just kept moving violently both on the upside as well as downside, and then again went back up. So these days are of course very hard for option sellers to manage, and that's one of the things which I had to deal with. But that also reminds me of my maths teacher who used to say that, if he used to point to a tough question and say that if you can solve this question, you can solve any question, right? So that's means that if you can handle the complexity of a certain question, it means that you have enough understanding of that subject that you can answer anything else, which is relatively going to be easier. So the same logic goes to today, right? So if you can trade a day like this, you can easily trade any other day out there, because today gives you all the components that are there to trap a trader on the long side, on the short side, the momentum, every complexity that you can think of is there in a day like this today. And if you were able to trade a day like this, you basically have all the credentials that you need to pass in any other exam on any other day, right? These kind of days are very abnormal. You will not see these kind of days more than, I would say, 10% in a year. So very hard to manage these kind of days. So the learning on these days is how do you manage your risk, right? Not getting stuck in a bad position for too long. And this is the real test of a trader's acumen, not in terms of assessing where the market is going to go, but to assess the risk and take corrective action immediately without waiting too long. Okay. So a perfect example I will give you guys here. So take a look at this option. This option, if you see, was somewhere close to 10 rupees. I had shorted it at some point. And from 10 rupees, this option went to 100 rupees, means went up 10 times. And then from there, it basically came down to 0, right? So now if somebody had shorted this guy and then did nothing, eventually that person would have made money, right? Because it came down to 0. But can you really operate like that? Can you sit on a trade where you are incurring a loss of 10 times? No. Right? Because for making 10 rupees, you cannot risk 90 rupees. So that is the problem on days like this, that eventually what the market does is insignificant. It's not relevant. What is important is how do you manage the trades when they are going against you violently. And that is where I guess some experience also helps. But to say at the beginning of the day that, yeah, this is what the day is going to do, or I knew that this is what is going to happen. Nobody knows what the market does. Let's just be honest about that, right? Nobody knows whether this would have been a bullish day, simple bullish day, or maybe just kind of a range bound kind of a day, or just some kind of a breakout. So that is not something a trader should worry about. A trader should worry about, given that market has done this, what is that I need to do? Do I need to add to a position? Do I need to get out of a position? Do I need to take a position on the opposite side, right? So that constant realignment of the overall portfolio or overall positions with respect to the market position is basically what the art is all about. So this is, as you can see now, this is how the PNL was fluctuating throughout the day. I was doing okay in the morning because market was just moving up. So that was making profit. But then when the first reversal happened, that took away a lot of profits. And even then I was able to adjust myself, and then that also started making profit. And then the second reversal basically happened, and then that took away all the profit. So then again you have to adjust. So that was multiple adjustments. At some point psychologically it becomes very taxing to keep managing. You kind of don't know when this is going to all end, right? But the good news is it all ends. At the end of the day, the game is over. So it worked out. It worked out well. And as I said, if you can trade a market like this, and when I say you can trade, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in profit. Even if you came out of this kind of a day with a small loss, I think that's a big achievement, because markets are not this volatile most of the time. So if you can manage this kind of a market, you can basically manage any kind of a market, right? So next time, let's say market just happens to be a trending market or just a choppy market, then you know that it's much easier to trade that market. So I hope that you guys were able to trade. Some of you who traded, hopefully you made money. And if anything, at least you got to learn that market has the capability of surprising us. So never underestimate the capacity of the market to surprise us. Okay? That's why the market is supreme. We all follow the market. We never predict the market. Okay. So with that said, I'm just going to wrap this video up. Hope I will see you guys next time.